Let there be light, and there was light. Words of the said Godmother Eve. So there we are again. Thank you for joining me. And I'm thanking you for your comments and your likes and subscriptions. Subscriptions. So yes, thank you. Thank you. Okay, so let's continue with the gods. And of course, knowing the gods is knowing ourselves. And as I have been terming these, I think I've been terming them, to know the gods is to know thyself. So I thought I would also look at the word die, because there's the thing about the words that we are using, and we need to pay attention to their sound and what meaning, of course, we have been giving them. Or um, I'm not going into what it meant about, or the original Greek or Hebrew or whatever. No, I am going through. It's like going retracing my steps. It's like retracing my steps. So looking at the word die, okay, this pen, let's look at the word die. I'm looking at this just to really make reference to the letters of the gods that we are going to be examining and going to look at. But I just thought, because I have been using this as a heading, and because the word die is really what seemed to have shaped our thinking and our mindset, even from the scriptures, where the serpent said, and God said, you shall surely, if you eat of this, you shall die. And of course, the serpent said, you shall not surely die. And now the serpent is really trying to show us the difference, or if there is any difference, how to make sense of that journey of what we call death in this sense. So, this word is used very often in THY, thyself, because I've been using self. Self is 1, 5, 3, 6. Adding this together is this is 12, this is 13, 14, 15. Oh, lovely. 15. I say lovely because we have been looking at the number 15 in the few presentations I've done. 15 is in the middle of the cycle. So basically, this is about knowing ourselves. So this is the sacrifice template. This is Mother Eve, in case you are new to this presentations. This is the third eye. Mother Eve is really saying about activating our third eye. This is where we get to know thyself. Now this, in fact, I would wish to be able to call this another title, by another title, because know thyself, that's not where I was really going with this in this, but it's coming. Here we are, here in this middle, because 15, the self is 15, so NAW is 15. And of course, 5 is where Mother Eve is, in the central of numbers 1 to 9. So we ask ourselves here, and we have the numerical value of 6 right there. Of course, the sacrifice template in itself is pivotal to that recognition of our identity. And so we have an I here as well, which is saying that it has a numerical value of 9. And it's also pointing to the importance of the I. It's like more or less saying, pay attention to the I. And EYE, of course, has a numerical value of 8, sorry, which is what Mother Eve ate. That's why the 8 is there in the mouth, but the I is there. There's the wisdom. It's not just straightforward. It is straightforward, but our path had not been as straightforward as we are learning now, because we had to go through our kindergarten stages or primary stages or secondary stages to understand, just like you all these stages to understand the wisdom, because it is about wit as well. Now when you really get it, you just really want to laugh. It's like, is God having a laugh? And so this is what we are talking about. So we see here, thyself. Now why I was smiling as well with thyself, it's like the word die here, and or it'd be good to also look at the other word. I know I have touched on this as well, but let's see, die. So self is 6. We have this. So this is really pointing back to saying we are Genesis. Genesis equals 6. People equals 6. People, and person, person. So we can see where we are with this 7, 5, 6, 7, 3, 5. So this is 10, this is 20, this is 33. Yes, 33. 3 plus 3 is 6. So you could see about, well, there we are on the 3 masons. Okay, then we have 7, 5, 9, and we have the sun here as well. It's the sun. So it's like, really, there's another thing I'm just getting right now. It's the person. We are sons. We all are sons. We all have this. This is why Christ said about shining our light. So we are all sons here. Okay, but let's stick to the context of what we are talking about here. So this is 10, this is 20, this is 33, also 33. Now, it's these sort of exercises that really let us know when we hear about, about the 33 degrees. We are the 33 degrees right here already. Everything is within us. So whatever other people are doing to become realized, they are doing what they feel is necessary to be realized in whatever way they can identify themselves with this 33. But we are that. We are that. Okay. So let's get my pad. So let's do the die. And there's also DYE. I just got on this, but I was really wanting to concentrate on this. So this is 4, 9, 5. So 9 and 9, 18. 1 plus 8 is 9. So, of course, we see that is die. The dying is the end of a cycle. It is beginning and end. This is what we see with the word in the beginning. In, for instance, it equals 5, but 5 is in the middle of 9, which we have seen here. So, basically, die is here. This is why sacrifice, this is why we see the sacrifice was done. Christ did the sacrifice, have to die to be able to be realized. And that's what Mother Eve is showing us here. This is the Kundalini. You have to die of the red, whichever you could see right here. This is just intuitively done this way. You've got to die of the lower chakra. Of course, you've got to die of it. And we see, of course, the mouth equals 5. So 5 and 9 is beginning and end right here. 9 is beginning and 5 is end. So we can see that this is the dying here. The word sacrifice equals 10. 10, of course, equals 12. 12 is 3. And of course, we have covered this, but I really want to do this here now and to show. So it's basically as if we need to go through this 8, 1, 8, or you you want it. It's like I'm just listening to the sound here. So the ate is the past tense of it, which is what Mother Eve did. So there was who ate, one who ate of the fruit, and that was the dying here, to dying of the self. Now let's look at this die here, which is 287. Adding this together is 17. 1 plus 7 is 8. Now, there's another thing that's important to remember. 8 is also God. God, exactly 17. God, which is 764. Adding this together is 17. And of course, 1 plus 7 is 8. So, thyself is your God self. Thyself is your God self. This is 6 here, plus 6. Adding this together gives us 14. This is why Christ had to die of the 13 on the cross. The 13 at the table. 13 at the table. And when Christ died of self, he came anew. NEW, a new creature. This is why it is said in Christianity, when you accept Christ, Christ is the Kundalini. When you accept Christ, the dying of self, the dying of the lower self, and the igniting cleansing, do a cleansing of your chakras, have a healthy diet, have an intention, have a belief, a faith that you are in the right path with the guidance of Mother Eve, having ate of the fruit. This is a depiction of what happens when you have ignited the Kundalini. You become anew, right here. You become realized. You are 33 here. And this 5 is like an S as well. That becomes, when you are new now, you become news. You are in the news right here, because your eye is open, and then you see your reflection of that which you are or you have become, and then you become news. NEWS. You are the news. The news is also your north, your south, east, and west. So NEWS, north, south, east, west. You become aware. That is self-awareness. So I'm going to end this here, or I probably should really do this here. Let's complete this one, just because I want to keep them short. So 8 is your God self. Mother Eve, having eaten of the fruit, the actual eating, Mother Eve became God. And this is where we said, it is said in the scriptures, behold, the man have become like us. The us is 13, US, not United States, but that too. That's 3 and 1. So the us is here, which equals 4, of course. But when we do the numerical value for 4, it gives us 6. It gives us 24, as in the word for, FOUR. It gives us 24. And there we have the hour. We have connected on the hour. So I'm hoping that you get this, because I have covered the hour aspect in another presentation. So when we cover the hour, we are in the present. And of course 2 plus 4 is 6. So whenever we are able to identify ourselves in this 6 as the said God, there we are seeing we are created in God's image and likeness. So the die we see is what's happened here. So die is really 9. Of course 9, when we do the numerical value for 9, it gives us 6. So we can see this is where we die of the self and come into that realization. The God is really are going through another creation, another formation. Hence, there is the formed God. And the God, of course, by eating of the fruit, there is a cause to have a new formation, because there is an ingestation, there is a new process taking place again. So as I say, when we add this together, we have the 14 gods. 1 plus 4 is 5. And there we see Mother Eve is here. No wonder Mother Eve was the one in the garden as the serpent, as Satan, to say, you shall not surely die. If you eat of the fruit, you shall not surely die. So there is the different dies happening here. And the word not in this sense, of course, I have covered that, would also mean it. There is the word for this where it's got the double meaning, like of the pun you could say, because you shall not surely die, but the word, because it is not, to make sense of it, you have to die to realize that not, in essence. Okay, so this other die here, let's just have this here, which is 5, 7, 4. Of course, so this is 12. 12 plus 4 is 16. So 16 equals 1 plus 6 is 7. So basically, we see there's all these are cycles here. The 3 dies are giving us 7, 8, 9. So that is the 9. Basically, when I was doing these presentations here, so we could see that the 3 dies that we have done here, it comes under the ice age, you could say, ICE, because when one dies, they turn cold. The body turns cold. The body turns cold. So this is how I've been guided to do this, and it kind of makes sense. And it's on the 7, of course. They go through a gypsy journey. There is the realization, the gypsy journey. Then you go to headquarters zone, you pay your dues. This is where everyone says, oh, you know, you have seen, when you go through the lights or whatever, you see all your life before you. So you pay your dues, you see. And of course, with the 9, you birth into whatever, whether you decide to go here or there. This is it, the inland revenue. So the gypsy journey, the headquarters zone, and the inland revenue, that is a process that constitute of the dying. And I had not realized this in this way until now. So we have seen the die, we have seen the 3 dies, put it this way. And 3, of course, again, it's the number 3. 3 gives you freedom. So you need to die of this. That's why there was in the scriptures about staining the doors with blood. Of course, blood is free. So we can see that the number 3, blood has the value, numerical value of 3, would stain the door. Of course, it would be a form of dye. And it was about death, real gruesome. So there we are. Of course, as I say, keeping these short. And do join me again. We're going to explore this template a bit more. Much more. There is so much depth. This is what we are talking about, intuition. I really want to show how we started this template, how this template was started, and where we are today, and it is still very robust and giving us deeper meaning each time. Thank you. Let there be light, and there was light.